I don't know whether my next guest sings in the shower. He's a very important man. We say a very... No, he's shaking his head. Head of comms for Friends of the British Overseas Territories, Robert Midgley. A very good morning.
Good morning. I do absolutely not sing in the shower.
Do you not?
I can't sing, Jeremy.
Neither can I.
I just can't sing.
Do you know why I became a DJ?
Why?
Because I can't dance. I cannot dance. My feet do not agree with my head at all. I'm always that sad old git that sits at the side and says, "No, you go. I'll just sit here and have a sausage roll or something." Robert, massive welcome. Where do we start? Let's start. I mean, I was working yesterday afternoon and suddenly Hamish Faulkner, one of the Home Office ministers, stood up and said, Foreign Office ministers, after Donald Trump has voiced his displeasure about the Chagos Islands deal, we're pausing. Number 10 went, no, we're not. And then sometime later, number 10 said, well, we are. We're having discussions because no time frame was put on it. This deal, the Chagos Island deal, to anybody with a brain cell, makes no sense financially, no sense morally. And it proves, does it not, that Starmer can't do anything without anybody else getting involved, in this case, Donald Trump.
No, that's absolutely correct. And I watched that whole statement yesterday and he blustered his way through it. I mean, he's not the minister for the overseas territory, so I didn't really know much of the details. But what was interesting yesterday was MPs accused government 3 times of misleading them. They confirmed that the bill has been paused until America realigns themselves. So originally the bill was meant to be completed at the end of January and they wanted the handover to be on the 1st of February in time for tax cuts in Mauritius. But obviously that's not happened. So
tax cuts are the money that we're giving them to make sure that the Mauritian people are okay but ours are struggling.
It's meant to be 80% of the population will be lifted out of tax in Mauritius once this deal is done.
Can we just stop there a second? Just say that to the British people.
Yeah.
So warped is our Prime Minister under this ideological human rights nonsense. He wants the Mauritian people to be tax-free, 80% of them, but our tax is being increased the whole time, Robert. That's the reality, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's up to Mauritius what they do with the money, but from our side, we're meant to be paying to rent back our own territory, and that will be lifting 80% of Mauritians out of income tax. So that's something for you to think about as well. But also yesterday, I don't know if you've been following all the legal basis that we've been uncovering the past few weeks, but we uncovered that there's absolutely no legal basis to this deal, and it was sort of confirmed yesterday because they kept probing the minister about the intricate UNCLOS part of the deal, which is the United Nations Convention of the Laws of the Sea. And of course we have a military exemption to that. So they probed him so many times and he couldn't answer any of the questions. And also a small little fact that came out as well was that they also said negotiations started under a Labour government in 2009. So I did actually look into this, and bilateral talks did happen about Chagos Islands in 2009. So there is evidence out there that can prove it. But yeah, it's turned into a really sticky situation. And also we have UQs in Lords today. And then on Monday, Sir Edward Lee has put in a notice to the Speaker that they want to have that urgent debate about the misleading of Parliament. So this whole thing is opening up. About 4 months ago, you know, I sat on the Winston Marshall show and said, oh, we don't really have many gaps where we can move for this deal to die now. But actually, now so many avenues have now opened up and the cracks are really showing. And
of course. Yeah. I mean, do you believe that the government's misled Parliament in the Chagos deal?
So on the 22nd of May 2025, John Healey, the Secretary of State for Defence, did say that the whole reason for giving away these islands is based on the fact a ruling could come from an international court that would force our hand. He said that that would be UNCLOS, which I just mentioned, or ITLOS, which is the International Tribunal of the Sea. And then we have been doing a series of ministerial questions from MPs that sort of unravelled all of this. It said, well, how are we signed up to the exemptions within ITLOS and UNCLOS? This was about less than 2 weeks ago now. And the minister replied, said, yes, we are. So we said, well, how have we got so far to realise that a binding ruling cannot come from anywhere?
It's just, mate,
so the whole basis has been taken away now.
To your average person, right, it's ludicrous. For example, Trump, who seemed to initially support it, has now vetoed the deal. It's not going to... Let's just cut to the chase. Yes or no? It's not going to go ahead without his approval, is it?
No, it will not. But do you know why he pulled out about a week or so ago? It's because there's a clause in the deal but it says any time that there's an operation taking place, you have to notify Mauritius. Mauritius is actually compromised by China. All their phones are hacked and everything like this.
Wow.
But anyway, but someone in the government was either really incompetent or he should be working for us. And they actually...
No, incompetent, I think, let's be perfectly honest. Yeah?
They notified Mauritius over a potential strike on Iran. So all the alarm bells went off in the US saying, well, hold on a minute, what is this? And the UK said, oh no, we're just doing this on friendly terms with Mauritius just to let them know. So
it's so naive. It's really, really, to me, pinpoints the naivety of this government and this Prime Minister who wants to cosy up to this human rights fiasco. The point you just made, I'm going to repeat all morning. Under the deal, we have to let them know if something's going to happen operationally. America's our ally. America is looking at what's happening in Iran. Mauritius is close to China. That sums up Starmer to me in an absolute heartbeat. Can I take it beyond that? Today we heard rumours that this crackpot administration are now considering giving the same. They're going to do the same with, I think, Gibraltar. There was fury. Shadow Foreign Secretary Priti Patel has claimed overnight that a treaty draft has been agreed, but Labour ministers at the moment not bringing it to Parliament. It would remain British, but would follow EU rules.
Yeah, well, wait for this, Jeremy. So the EU are publishing the treaty this morning, even though the UK hasn't actually seen it yet, like as in publicly. So the EU are all over. They're releasing it before we're even seeing it in Parliament. So I don't know the exact details, but I've seen little bits of it, and it's where Border Patrol would move from the border of Gibraltar to the airport, which means you would have UK and Spanish border at the airport, and also you would have Spanish border guards at any ports as well. So this is the first time in history you've got Spanish nationals working for Spain on the borders of Gibraltar, on the inside of Gibraltar.
I mean, you're the head of comms for Friends of the British Overseas Territories. This is simply yet, if it's true, another example of this Prime Minister giving away our sovereign territory, isn't it?
So when you enter Gibraltar, it'll be counted towards your Schengen days, days that when you enter the EU, for example. So you have entered the EU as soon as you enter the Gibraltar border. So that's one big issue. Another issue is their taxes all going up there. And another issue is crime. So there's a lot of crime across the border in Spain, a lot of gang warfare, whatever. But Gibraltarians see the border as a safety net.
Is anybody asking the Gibraltarians what they want?
Yeah, so they're concerned about the crime. They obviously don't want to be stuck in all those queues every day. So about 10,000 people cross the border every day to go to work. So this is very important for people who work and live across the border. Lots of Gibraltarians live across the border, so they want to get in. So it's very important for them that there's no queues, because there's been so much drama over the past few decades of Spanish guards just closing the border when they feel like it, causing queues, causing quite a lot of misery. So on some side, this is a good thing. But there's other intricacies within this where little patches of land have been ceded over, the border guards are coming into Gibraltar. Yeah, but there's a few downsides and a few upsides.
But overall, it's symptomatic of a human rights obsessed Prime Minister who wants to presumably either keep his mates in jobs or apologise for any sort of past of this country and carve up things that will cost us money when we're in the middle of a cost of living crisis.
No, absolutely.
I'm not trying to be cynical.
And there's a security concern in this as well, because you've got RAF Gibraltar. Gibraltar's airport is owned by the RAF. And a part of that was Spain wanted full access to that airport. They wanted the airport to be Spanish. So in the treaty, we're yet to see what's actually happening with the airport. But I heard that was one of the red lines that is the reason why it kept stalling.
Amazing to have you here, and I mean that, Robert. Two very quick questions. Yes or no? Will the Chagos Islands deal go ahead, yes or no?
Really difficult to say right now. It's a matter of time. You've got parliamentary prorogation coming up before the King's speech in just after the local elections. So it's a race against time at the moment to keep this delay going until it can die naturally.
Will Gibraltar happen, yes or no?
I think very likely it will happen. just because they have a chief minister.
And any truth in the news that next will the Isle of Wight, followed by the Isle of Man, followed by the Isle of Sheppey?
Well, they're crown dependencies, so it's
won't stop him giving them away, will it? Robert Midgley, thank you. I really appreciate it. Here comes Friends of the British Overseas Territory. 22 minutes.